I have to get out this much butter. I know it's going to be a really long day. And by a really long day, I mean around 22 hours, which does happen sometimes. But you know what? It's fine because I kind of get these long days down to a science. No matter how long the day is, I always start with coffee, breakfast, writing out my to-do list for the week, and getting out all of my ingredients to come up to room temperature. But on a long day like this, I do split up my day into 2 shifts, basically. I like to call this my day shift and night shift. A lot of the time, people think I'm saying the night shift and I'm going to a completely different job. But no, it's always baking. All of this to say, this is a really long day in the life of a home baker, and this is the day shift. Let's do it. So I had to start my day by baking 3 dozen cupcakes. It's going to be 2 dozen vanilla cupcakes and 1 dozen chocolate cupcakes. I do like to clean my pans before they go in the oven for easy cleanup. And then I did do a baker's dozen for all 3 batches. I always try to do a baker's dozen, if nothing else, just so I can taste the cupcakes and make sure they taste good. But also just in case, you know, knock on wood, anything happens, I have extras to work with. Once I was done with all of those, I cleaned all of my dishes and the area. Baked perfectly. Look at those flat tops. So gorgeous. Yeah, cleaning as you go when you work this much is so important. I thought Betty wasn't working. Turns out she was not plugged in. So I plugged her in and then the bowl wasn't locked in and I was just, oh my God, it's just a mess, you guys. You know when you're kind of exhausted, so you're a little delirious, and then once you start laughing, you just can't stop and you giggle forever? That was me. I could not get it together after this. But it's fine, okay? You didn't see anything. I don't want to hear it. So yeah, la la la. Anyways, I was trying to make some sugar cookies that were due the next day. I started by whipping up my butter and sugar and then adding all of the ingredients gradually. I did make a little bit of a mess, so I was cleaning as I went, and then I did my saran wrap pack, of course. Washed my hands quickly, and then we were ready to start rolling out all of my dough. Super important that I get these done and out of the way so I can do everything else, so I can sit down and really focus on these tonight. Learning how to stack all of your different tasks throughout the day as a home baker is super important, especially when you have to hold yourself accountable. Also, look at that easy cleanup. Gorgeous. While those are baking in the oven, I reset my kitchen again and made myself some lunch. This was toasted sourdough with egg salad, avocado, chili oil. It was freaking amazing. As always, as the cookies come out of the oven, while they're still hot, I flatten them so that the flood doesn't flow off later. I finished my first pot of coffee because I'm exhausted and I'm addicted, so I made a second pot, poured that cup, had no spills. It was great. I was feeling good, and then I had to run out to the store to get some supplies that I was going to need for macaron fillings tonight. So I got in my car, headed over to Winn-Dixie, got everything I needed, and then I was sitting in the car when I got home, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, obviously I should do Wordle. So I did, and I got it in 3, and then I played Connections. When I went inside, it was officially time to start making all of my macarons. These were a little bit more complicated than normal. I had 2 options in this instance. I could make the first batch tonight, and then I could do the second batch in the morning. These were for 2 separate orders. Both clients wanted multiple colors for the shells. So I did end up just making 1 giant batch so I could get it all done at once, and I wouldn't have to wake up extra early the next day. You make macarons, you know this can be stressful, but I did end up splitting it into 5 different colors. It worked out perfectly. When I'm making multiple colors out of 1 batch, I'm always worried I'm gonna let the macaron batter sit too long and it's gonna deflate or something, but honestly, they turned out beautiful. I'm making macarons. I have to keep my house at like 68 degrees, so I was freezing. I changed into some sweatpants. Then I had to make 3 batches of buttercream for the macarons, cakes, cupcakes, and another cake the next day. And that's it for the day shift. I'll see you in part 2 for the night shift. Okay, love you, bye!